Hey, Eric.
Hey, Chris.
Can we talk about some Apple shit real quick?
Yeah. You want to talk about Cosmic Crisp? Honey Crisp?
Yeah, Honey Crisp is probably my favorite Apple, I think.
Try a Cosmic Crisp.
Probably have had a Cosmic Crisp, but that's
a relatively new strain.
That's not what kind of apples I want to talk about. First, I want to remind everybody to go to patreon.com/retroam and support us on Patreon.
Mm-hmm.
But do not do that through the iOS app ever, because Apple is adding a 30% surcharge to any transactions made via...
If you set up your first-time payment through the app, Apple takes a cut of that?
Yes.
That's so fucked up.
They're not going to start doing this until a little bit later in the year.
Yeah.
This only applies to new subscriptions. But if you would like to support us on Patreon, don't use the Apple app. Go to the website and do it that way so you don't get charged extra. Thus concludes my public service announcement. Thank you, Eric. Would you like to hear some hot sounds I've recorded?
Of course.
You mean hot sounds I recorded?
Welcome to Retrograde Amnesia, a comprehensive podcast covering classic Japanese role-playing games, chapter by chapter, beat by beat. Welcome back. We're here on Season 6 covering the video game Final Fantasy Tactics. My name is Chris, and I'm joined today by Eric. Hello.
Hey, man.
Hi, how are you feeling? Are you feeling tactical?
Caffeinated.
Caffeinated?
Caffeinated.
We're still part of our 8 a.m. Friday recording session, Chris.
What is the most tactical video game you've ever played?
Final Fantasy Tactics.
Okay, I thought you were going to say that, but I was just checking. Thought you were going to say Fatal Labyrinth for the Sega Genesis.
I've played that.
Yeah, what's Jeff Gerstmann? He's playing Sega Genesis games the other day.
Isn't Fatal Labyrinth a roguelike?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I played it too. My
it's like one of the first roguelikes.
Neighbor had it, and I watched him play it, and I didn't realize it was as good as it is.
Yeah, Fatal Labyrinth is one of the good ones, man.
I think I hated it when I played it back in the day. But anyway, we're also joined by the RealNet, a collective of patrons who are listening to us record live. Hello, RealNet! Thank you for supporting us on Patreon at patreon.com/retroam.
We're also joined by the Fake Net, our post-production artificial intelligence companion who wants to be a part of Chris's romantic kingdom fantasies.
Initializing fake net.
I want to pursue Lu Bu, if you get my drift. If you catch my meaning.
By romantic kingdom fantasies, do you mean like Romance of the Three Kingdoms?
That's what I mean. And if you want to hear Chris tell the most fucked Romance of the Three Kingdoms strategy of all time, please see our video of Patreon at patreon.com/retroam, where Chris goes through trying to play that on a PlayStation 2.
So I think it's on our Tinkering with Junk stream number 1 or
number 2. We actually brought the console. Or no, yeah, number 1, number 2, I don't know.
Okay, so the memory card stream, it's actually the memory card stream.
Okay.
So it's called Memory Cards, I think. Yeah.
You can hear Chris tell a wonderful story where we go through his PlayStation 2 memory card.
I think the RealNet referred to me, like that version of me that I described as Terrible Chris.
Yeah, Terrible Chris, fucked Chris. I didn't think Chris was capable of the level of depravity he told in the story, this family man that I exist in his basement with for 2 hours every week. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, it really was a dark time.
Speaking of dark times, we're going to Zeltennia Castle.
Yeah, sure, why not?
Ovelia's Worries plays, and we're in the dark staring out a window into the night sky. Clanking swords and death rattles are audible. There's a battle going on, and Ovelia dramatically turns her head, sweeping her hair around to pay it attention.
She's got a well-animated cloak here, too. The hair, the cloak, everything has got a nice little bespoke sprite animation, and I just want to call attention to that because I love it.
I love it.
It's interesting to be playing Lunar right now simultaneously.
Which has none.
Where the sprites do not animate ever.
Except for the constant walking or whatever.
Yeah.
Season 7, coming soon.
She turns around to face the door and takes a few steps forward. She stands in place as gruff voice from the outside room presents a dialogue box.
I have harsh voice.
The harsh voice says, "He disappeared." That's never good, Chris. A second voice demands they search the Eastern Hall. Ovelia takes more steps forward as a third voice says, "He was injured when he sprung his cell. He couldn't have run far." Chris, who are they talking about? Who do you think?
Well, no, we've already rescued TG Sid.
Yeah, who the fuck's in a cell? Did they capture somebody else? Did they get Sid again? No, Sid's in our party. Who did Sid depart with?
Olan.
Could be Olan. Someone enters the door and Ovelia either twitch jumps as a reaction or brings her clutched hands to her face. I can't tell, my eyes are old. A figure enters and the figure kneels. He comes out of the shadows, and it's Orin, who Chris calls Olan.
Yes.
He rises and comes face to face with Ovelia. He kneels again, and she crouches down to meet him at eye level. That's pretty weird. Clarity is offered when Ovelia notices Orin is bleeding. I guess Orin's all fucked up and bleeding, not necessarily kneeling out of deference or respect. He's hurt.
Deference or deference?
Fake net, how do you say it?
Initializing fake net.
There's no difference between deference and deference.
Orin speaks in his portrait. He's bleeding from the head, right below the hairline of his cool haircut.
Yeah.
He tells Ovelia, Lady Ovelia, there is something I must tell you. She tells Orin he mustn't speak, which is the opposite of what I think Orin should do right now. I demand exposition over health and safety.
Yes.
Orin begs Ovelia to hear his words. Do they know each other?
Possibly.
Maybe. There's some, nobles around town.
I mean, Ovelia was stashed away in the monastery for a long time, so we don't really know if she ever interacted with other people, but surely he knows who
she is.
He is.
All right. Orin tells Ovelia some of the finer details of the plot of Final Fantasy Tactics. I beg you, hear my words. The man who murdered Duke Goltano was not my father, Count Orlando. My father, he was framed for treason. He escaped from Fort Bessilet with Ramza Beoulve. He fights now to frustrate the High Confessor's plot.
Frustrate the plot?
I love trying to frustrate a plot. I love when words I know are used in ways I'd never thought about using them before.
Yeah, you can frustrate a plot. Usually when we use the word frustrate, it has to do with the mental...
Being mad at the goddamn kids.
Yeah, being mad at the kids, or there's spiders in your computer, or the fucking PlayStation won't work, or whatever, you know?
Yeah, you're frustrated. You become angry and aggressive.
All the anime that I was torrenting while I was at work didn't download properly, and I can't watch anime today.
You shouldn't download anime to watch that day. You should have a healthy supply in stock ready for you to watch.
Yeah,
you should be downloading next week's anime.
Anime's so good. You just gotta... I'm out of anime.
He needs more hard drives. Patreon.
Yeah.
With all that,
too much anime.
Well, that all makes sense to Ovelia. She did not think the Count a man who would plot at rebellion. But somebody's jostling the door. A voice shouts that it will not open.
Rummaging sounds come out from outside there.
Another voice seems friendlier. It calls to ask Lady Ovelia if she's safe. Yeah, dude. Orin snuck in here. She's safe.
What was the movie he did where you stop time? Time Stopper?
Yeah, sure. Let's call it that.
Galaxy Stop.
Of course.
It was Galaxy Stop.
Yeah, why can't you do that in non-combat scenarios?
Yeah.
The first voice returns to beg Ovelia to open the dang door. But Ovelia ignores all of this shit and asks Orin another question. But if not your father, then who? Like who died? Or who was framed instead?
Who did this shit?
Who did it?
Who done it?
Orin begins to tell her, but then two Southern Sky Knights barrel through the door.
Damn.
One asks Ovelia if Orin harmed her. Another shouts at his dumb buddies for backup. Motherfucking Delita walks in wearing his new king shit beige and crimson robe.
Yeah.
He saunters.
Somebody got themselves a promotion.
Yeah. He demands all these NPCs to get the hell out of here. He has that power. The kneeling knight, bowing to Delita, I guess, raises his head. He questions, my lord. And then Delita tells this asshole, stand up, turn, and walk out the door behind you. So Delita's in charge.
He's in charge of the whole Southern Sky Knights now, I guess?
Is he midway through building his kingdom for Ovelia?
I don't know if he's midway through. He's
relatively through?
He's still...
It hasn't been that long amount of time.
It has not been... No, he's still on the grind to get there. He's not in charge of everything yet. The
knight protests, but Alita informs him that that was not a request. The knight hesitates, but eventually acquiesces. As you command, my lord. Both knights exit. Fucking Valmafra walks in, joining Delita and Pincer surrounding Orin.
Wow.
Who's on whose side here? Is like, I thought they were all buddies. I thought they were all friends. Valmafra has been with Orin in friendly relationships, but I thought she was spying on Delita but he was like tolerating it or something. I don't know.
I think Delita is tolerating the spying. She's there on behalf of the church, right?
Yeah.
And
church liaison.
Yes. So I think this is more of like a standoff kind of situation where like everybody knows what time it is, but no one's ready to like pull the trigger.
To issue the time.
To
state the time.
Wristwatches were not yet invented, so the declaration of exact time cannot be made.
Yes. Ovelia immediately issues a request. I beg you, hurt him no further. So the Delita hasn't fucked up Orin. The knight's fucked up Orin when he got out of his cell.
Yes.
Okay. Delita then joins the kneeling crew. 3 of the 4 people in this room have now taken a knee, and he addresses Orin. This is a foolish thing you've done, Orin. Did we fucking miss something with Orin? Did I somehow skip a scene or battle? What the hell happened here? When did Orin get imprisoned? Has Orin been in jail ever since Sid was in jail?
I think so.
Like Valmafra took them in as like, wink, wink, we're going to put you in jail? During that stockroom box scene?
Who the fuck is Valmafra?
Huh?
Who the fuck is Valmafra?
What's she called in yours? Bulgaria?
Oh, Balfuma.
That's right,
No,
yeah.
Balmafula.
Bufu, right.
Okay. All right. Never mind. I'm on the same page. I don't really know either, Eric. I think that, to my recollection, Oren was also imprisoned with Sid. Or he came in here to try to break out Sid, and somehow he didn't come with us. I don't
Fucking
know.
whatever. Oren's upset with Delita, calling him a traitor. You have no right to speak to me. So I think there was a gentleman's agreement that Oren wasn't really going to get jailed, and then Delita fucked him.
Okay. Got it.
Delita aims to solve the present conflict with facts and logic. You act as though you did not wish for what I did. Look around you. Do you see any earnest tears?
See anyone who's really saddened?
Do you see anyone who's really sad?
Not really.
You were not alone in praying for his fall. I even made your father out for dead. You should thank me. No one pursues a man known slain. So they're talking about Goltana being slain after fake Sid was killed?
Yeah, and I think
Goltana wasn't part of the plan?
The PlayStation version, he says, you should thank me for killing your father. Now nobody will be after him. He's a little bit more blunt about it and just says,
Right.
if he framed Sid for killing Goltana and then killed Sid, then you should thank me because your father can escape even though his legacy is tarnished.
Right.
It was what Delita's selling right here. I don't know if Oren buys it or not.
Oren perceives Delita as insincere, telling him, I am in no mood for japes.
Ah, japes.
Chris, what does it take for you to be in the mood to play Jungle Japes?
What's Jungle Japes?
It is the Smash Brothers Melee stage in the dark for Donkey Kong Country with the flowing river below it that creates perilous chasms.
I've got to be in a certain mood for Jungle Japes, primarily when you're in a Smash Brothers situation in which if you lose, you don't have to give the controller up. Because Jungle Japes will fuck you and make you have to give up the stick.
Yeah.
So if I'm only playing with 3 or 4 people, then we can play some Japes.
Okay.
It's fine.
So 4 below. I'd put Jungle Japes in the category with Termina, where it's like not exactly fair, but it is fucked in a fun way. Ovelia rises and asks Delita why he would do such a thing. Delita also rises and answers Ovelia's question head on. I told you, didn't I? I work to see you made queen for true.
I work to see you made queen for true.
Good. Great. We're on the same page. Or did you know?
No, I just want to repeat that just because I liked
it.
Yes, he says, I told you I'd make you into a real monarch.
I'd rather be queen for true, Chris.
Oh, I would want to be anything for true.
Ovelia calls bullshit. Not you do is for true. You wish only to use me like the rest.
Yeah.
Delita is wounded. He asks Ovelia, you do not trust me? She hits Delita with the dots, 3 of them, a lethal dosage of dots.
Very lethal.
Rather than take the L and walk away, Delita doubles down. You trust me or you don't, Ovelia. Which is it? Ovelia hesitates. She tells him, I want to trust you, I do, but it is not such an easy thing. Delita is not satisfied with that answer either, so much that I think he's going to behead Oren. He tells Ovelia, return to your chambers, I have words with Oren. You know the guy in charge is losing control and the solution to every problem is to start killing the person who is the problem?
Yeah.
Which, I think the implication is he's going to murder Oren right now.
I think Delita is that kind of guy.
Yeah. Fuck it, I tried diplomacy for 35 seconds, now it's time to start killing.
Mm-hmm.
And he's mad, he's more mad at Ovelia than Oren, because I believe Delita thinks Oren just told her some shit, even though he really didn't. He was like, dude, I'm all fucked up, hide me, whatever. Ovelia seems to understand his meaning, raising her head and begging Delita, please do not hurt him. Delita tells Ovelia, I won't, you have my word. And if you back up 3 sentences, not you do is for true, you only wish to use me, I don't think she buys any of Delita's words anymore. I wonder, where did the breakdown happen? Because Ovelia was charmed and missed, and Delita was white knighting, kneeling at her side. When did this breakdown happen? Was it
I don't get the impression that there ever was any buy-in from Ovelia.
I mean, Delita did punch her in the stomach.
Yeah, and she's also since discovered that she's not really Ovelia.
Oh, right, yeah.
So, I think she is...
She feels being the pawn?
Yeah, she feels being the pawn. She's very disenchanted by everything right now. I think if it were up to her, she would be...
she doesn't even know about the perverts either.
That's a good point. She doesn't know about the perverts.
Delita tells Ovelia, I won't, you have my word. The entire character of Delita hinges on what he does here. My dude is a few scenes removed from dedicating his life to truth and applying that truth to Ovelia. Or is this all some kind of work like the Orlando execution? Does he need Ovelia to believe Oren is going to die here for some reason?
I don't think so. I think he has bigger plans.
Do you think Ovelia had to be ignorant of those bigger plans and Oren just came here and blew it?
Possibly.
Valmafra, Bufalax, what'd you call her?
I don't remember. Bulma.
Bulma takes a few steps backwards, allowing Ovelia to pass by. She moves to exit through a different doorway, but then Ovelia stops and looks back at the static scene of Delita, Oren, and Valmafra. Ovelia opens a different door to leave, but she doesn't pass through it. She re-enters the room, and continues to watch the scene from behind a stack of boxes.
Oh, that's like when you fake close the door when you're trying to like trick your kids into thinking you're hiding in a room, but you're really hiding behind the couch with a Nerf gun to ambush them.
That also works on cats.
Oh, yeah. Cats.
Cats love being shot with Nerf darts. I guess everyone else bought that Ovelia left because they all proceed with their conversation and evil plotting. Oren picks it back up. What I meant to do is done. I only sought to clear my father's name. Go on. I ask that you make it clean and quick. I thought Oren knew what time it was, the time of his death, but Delita seems to have other time plans. He tells Oren, "Stop your whimpering. I do not mean to kill you. That would be a waste." Oren, still kneeling, looks up at Delita. He asks, "What use could you possibly see in me?" Delita answers simply, "Your loyal service." Oren can't believe this shit. "Ha, again, you jungle jape. I would die before I bent my knee in your service." So in the framing of this scene, Oren is currently bending the knee in front of Delita. I know the context is different, but I think that's worth pointing out. Does Oren not know he's already working for Delita? Is that a metaphor?
I don't think Oren knows, yeah.
Because Oren's saying he won't, but he's literally bending the knee and saying he won't bend the knee.
Yeah.
Like, that has to be on purpose.
Delita, the manipulator.
Delita takes a step back. He refaces Oren, then responds by laying out his evil plans to scorch the earth. No, you would not. I am going to bring down the northern sky. And when the sky falls, the land of Evilise will again be made level. This is where I think the whole northern sky, southern sky thing was named for this speech right here. So Delita could bring down the sky.
Okay.
Then I build a new kingdom for Ovelia. The High Confessor will face judgment as well, of course. I'm not the church's hound. Chris, Delita is no thrall of the church.
He is no thrall of the church. He says in the PlayStation version, "You cannot refuse. I'll bring down the Hogaten and build Ovelia's kingdom. Of course, I'll kill the high priest. I'm not his dog."
I do think there's a difference between Ovelia's kingdom and kingdom for Ovelia, even though it's the same thing. Like, Delita is still maintaining, or at least publicly, that he's doing this for Ovelia. Like, in this, because she's spying on it, she can see Delita saying he's not using her. Maybe Delita even knows she's watching or some shit, because I think he definitely is using her.
I think he's definitely using her too, and he's, like, we talked about this before, but he's gaslighting himself into believing he's doing this for her.
Yes.
And he's doing it perhaps for other reasons that are baked into his subconscious, like the whole like classist system that he came up in.
And I really think the perverts don't factor into this at all.
No, like part of Delita as the manipulator is he is manipulating the war not only so that he can become a high-ranking noble or leader, but also he is manipulating Ramza and the perverts to fighting each other.
Yeah. That's fucking crazy.
So that he doesn't have to deal with them because he knows about them. It has been to his advantage that Ramza has gone to certain places to go find Alma, etc., because he knows that he's going to have a rendezvous with the perverts and
Rendezvous of perverts.
Rendezvous of perverts.
Rendezvous of perverts.
Either Ramza would be taken care of or the perverts would be taken care of. And I think that Delita wants Ramza to win the battle against the perverts.
Of course.
Which is part of the reason why he probably wanted Sid to go with them. Because
good point.
He's a fucking badass. And everybody knows that.
I do like the Delita bets on Ramza. Like,
Yeah,
not just for political reasons, but also because Ramza was his bud or something. Even though he told Ramza multiple times to fuck off.
I never realized how much of a manipulator Delita was and how much the battle of Ramza and the perverts is a direct impact of the way Delita is manipulating things. I always thought that there was a little bit of a chasm in this game's narrative because we're never really going to face down with Delita and have that like final showdown or whatever.
Yeah.
I always thought that was a miss in this game's writing, but actually I think it's an asset.
Yeah, it really demonstrates itself through the plot that that's not even necessary.
It is that a level of restraint that the narrative has that it didn't have with like bringing the Argath shit back.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's a good point. I really like discussing the political machinations of these characters and of the greater plot and speculating of it because, as we've said, we're preparing for Season 7 Lunar right now. And that game has almost no implicit lore. Like, it is really just NPCs and characters and cute conversations, which is fine. That's also fun to talk about.
Yeah.
But there's nothing to speculate about in that game and argue about motivations and stuff like that. At least what I've played so far. So the last part, where Delita said he's not a church's hound, that last part made Oren and Valmafra turn their head toward Delita with an expression I can only imagine as, wait, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Oren asked Delita if he's mad, like insane mad. Delita responds like he has developed protagonist of reality syndrome. You know what I do is right. That is a question mark. How should you pronounce? You know what I do is right? What does he say in yours? Do you have that?
I'm sure you know I'm right.
Okay, that's much better, actually.
Yeah.
Hats off to the PlayStation version for being comprehensible.
Comprende?
It is undeniably so. A common-born squire takes the reins of a knightly order and leads a wayward kingdom from the midst of chaos. The masses yearn for a hero. I only give them what they wish.
Oh.
Figurehead, more than an idea. Or more than a man, etc.
I don't know if you can declare yourself that.
No, you have to. He's trying to artificially do it, which is why he's going to fail. You can't do it. You have to get hero status organically. Warren asks a question that I think is laced with judgment. Using aught and all to forge your legend. Delita wonders if that's wrong. Ovelia backs away and exits the room. As she does, Valmafra puts her hand on the hilt of her sword and kneels near Orin. Delita notices Valmafra's hostile action and asks her, "What, do you mean to kill me? I know full well the High Confessor sent you to keep watch on me. Your orders are to kill me at the first sign of betrayal, no?" So that's why Valmafra looked at Delita when he said he's not a hound of the church.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, Chris, Delita will not be part of anybody else's scenario. I've never seen one guy consciously resist the plot of a video game like this.
That's true, because usually when you have somebody resisting a scenario, it is your playable protagonist.
Yeah.
You're the ones going up against it. But in this case, we have Delita doing it, which is interesting too, because the history and the lore of this world as it is known in the present, the historian perspective.
Eraslam.
Thank you. The way that the books were written, Delita is the protagonist.
He's the hero.
Yes.
Delita is almost acting like he has played this game before in a different life, and he's reacting to how the plot was supposed to flow.
That is true, and also interesting to think about too, because he never showed any signs prior to his kind of turn that he was capable of something.
Yeah, he was just kind of Rams's capable, but kind of background buddy.
It's similar to Suikoden 2, for that matter, because the betrayal there isn't necessarily telegraphed until a few scenes before.
But it's somebody who's sick of this shit.
It is somebody who's sick of this shit. It's I guess you can see the betrayal coming, but you cannot see how capable the betrayal is going to become.
Yeah.
They're very similar. I won't spoil Suikoden 2, but there's similar plot elements.
Yeah, my dream is to get people for a bonus episode to just compare and contrast this and Suikoden 2. People who have it fresh in the brain, such as us, etc. Anyway, Delita calmly walks over to Valmafra. She backs away as he stands in front of her, and then she fully draws her golden knife. Delita speaks, "Do it then. Stab me with that dagger. I stand before you unarmed. Strike me down. If you will not, then do not blame me for this." I guess Valmafra hesitates because Delita then walks toward her. The camera pans up and we fade to black quickly. Then we hear a lady death scream. Who the fuck screamed?
It's her, right?
Valmafra's fine later. Spoilers.
I know, yeah.
So I don't understand what the hell just happened here, unless he just wounded her or something.
Is she double too?
Yeah, that's a good question. Did they double Valmafra? Why would he kill Valmafra in front of Orin?
Are there multiple Valmafras?
That doesn't make any sense either. Fucking hell, man. I don't know who's fucking who now, right?
Yeah.
Beoulve Royal Cemetery is where we go next.
Oh, I just have in a graveyard.
Good. Not just any graveyard. Music, Heroes theme plays.
Protagonist theme.
And Zalbag stands alone in the cemetery. The sky is a worrying shade of yellow, the color that it gets after it's rained and the sun is setting. Zalbag takes a few steps forward, then turns around. He tells an off-screen person, "It's just over here." What job class emerges?
A chemist.
But it's not actually a chemist, it's an herbalist. Chris, in your mind brain, what is an herbalist?
An herbalist, in my mind brain, is a chemist.
But uses leaves.
Yeah, they uses that. I'm going to lay this magic leaf on your arm and wrap it around and put a splint on it, and then I'm going to sprinkle some dust on it, pour some absinthe on it or something.
Absinthe, potions.
Make it smell bad.
Arm potions.
And then your arm's going to heal.
Chris, you know who my favorite herbalist is?
No.
Jill Valentine.
Jill Valentine.
Oh, yeah, Jill Valentine. Yeah, every Resident Evil protagonist is in
Master
essence
herbalist.
An herbalist, yes, it's true.
The herbalist says, "Beg pardons, my lord, I cannot keep your pace." Zalbag no-sells that comment, then turns back around and approaches an absolute hoss of a headstone at the top of a hill. I do like the implication that Zalbag is rushing to the fucking grave with the herbalist.
I've got to figure this shit out.
I need this now.
What did you say the chemist said when he was like telling Zalbag to slow down or whatever?
Beg pardons, my lord. I cannot keep your pace.
Okay. In mine, he says, Mister, wait.
Mister. Fucking Mister.
Yeah,
He speaks to the headstone. Lord Father, I need you to take a look at something over here. I think he's addressing the headstone as Lord Father, then addresses the herbalist, even though it's in the same sentence. That's written weird, but it's all about, the resting place of his Lord Father and asking the herbalist to get over here and look at some shit. Zalbag then trots over to the right side of the burial plot, kneels down, picks something off the ground, then literally throws some shit at the herbman. The herbalist makes an impressive one-handed catch. Did you see that?
Yeah.
Just reached up and fucking got it.
Yep.
Can play left field. Zalbag asks him, can you tell me the name of that mushroom? Chris, can you tell me the name of any mushroom?
Mushroom.
Okay, that's your answer. Very good.
Fungi. I'm
No.
trying to think.
Have you ever...
Toadstool.
You don't have to answer this. Have you ever taken mushrooms? The fun
Yes.
kind. How'd that go?
Great.
All right.
I love hallucinogenic mushrooms.
In Minecraft.
The first time I ever did mushrooms,
In Minecraft.
our friends had a human skull
In a video game such as Minecraft.
that was preserved for science.
We think that was preserved for science.
But it was all broken apart
Yeah.
to show the different plates of the skull.
Yeah, it was definitely had educational purposes.
Yes. And should we be saying this on a podcast?
I don't know. Sure. I mean, it's 25. A guy used to work at a building downtown, and it was an old educational thing. And brought in the building. He brought home a fucking human skull that we had in the on the kitchen table for 6 months.
Yes. And but all the bones were taken. It was disassembled for, I guess, for learning purposes or something. Some people put the skull pieces back together by hand and then put a broomstick where the spinal column was and then walked around and made the skull talk while everybody was on mushrooms. It was fucked.
Yeah, it didn't really... That was on the kitchen table for a long time, and it didn't really strike me as something weird until someone came over and said, there's somebody's fucking head in your kitchen.
Yeah.
I haven't taken mushrooms ever, but witnessing that on mushrooms, it would seem like it would send me to the fucking Event Horizon hell dimension.
Yeah.
The herbalist answers, of course, it's moss fungus, my lord. Not the deadliest of poisons, but not something you'd want in your stew either. The stuff gets you in the end. So I hear, Zalbag replies. Zalbag stands and faces his father's grave. He lowers his head, and the herbalist tosses the moss fungus into the water, creating a unique sound effect. More time passes with Zalbag locked into the grave stair, and it appears he has successfully spooked the herbalist.
Yep.
I mean, imagine if the king just brings you out here and is like, what the fuck is this? Throws you fungus and then just stares at the father's grave. Zalbag awakens from his pondering session. He asks the herbalist, what has you so terrified? The herbalist responds by combining facts and logic with myth and legends.
Yes, that's true.
Don't you know, my lord, moss fungus only grows on corpses. And, well, they say it's right bad omen to find it growing on a family grave. The house falls as the cap rises, or so they say. So poisoning royalty with moss fungus, apparently a thing in this world?
I'm trying to think of some other bad omen shit. Like
the Jesus cross crying blood when you're at church? That's pretty bad.
I was going to say somebody flipped the horseshoe upside down or something.
Is that real?
I thought there was some sort of bad...
FakeNet, what's the bad horseshoe lore?
Initializing FakeNet.
Boys, there are a whole heaping mess of horseshoe superstitions. Both right side up and upside down. When a horseshoe is pointing down, specifically, it is thought to empty luck out onto all who walk under it.
Walking under a ladder, that kind of shit.
Broken mirror, 1,000 shards of light, black cat, that kind of shit.
Yeah, that kind of shit. It's moss fungus growing on corpses, bad omen.
There's also the way the herbalist said it. He did two, they says in the same statement. So I think my dude's nervous. If he's like, he's not going to say what he's like, well, they say, they say.
Yeah, usually when you say they say or people say, you're trying to distance yourself from that while also making that comment.
Yeah, and trying to add some credence to it. They say.
Yeah, like Joe Rogan said. No, you're saying that.
They say the definition of insanity is doing the same thing and expecting different results. That's what they say, Chris.
That's what they say.
That's what they say.
That's
what every villain said in movies for approximately 7 years.
I really don't like Joe Rogan. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, I have no opinion. I don't on principle because people I like don't, but I've never engaged with the Joe Rogan content. So anyway, that information doesn't do much psychic damage to Zalbag. Instead, he tosses a coin to the herbalist, telling him, on your way then. The herbalist makes yet another impressive one-handed grab. He could play for the Yankees. He nods, telling Zalbag, kind thanks, my lord. Zalbag tells him what's what. Your fee is as promised. The rest should help you forget what you've seen.
Yeah.
The herbalist knows what time it is, replying, forget what? And then scampering off the screen. Zalbag returns his eyes to his father's grave. He speaks, forgive me, father, as we pan up and fade out. Why is he asking forgiveness? For not realizing what was going on sooner, for the way he treated Ramza, for what he thinks he's about to do to Dystarg.
No, it's for digging up his father's own grave.
You think that's it? Just disturbing the grave a little bit?
I think it is yes to all in this situation. Like, Zalbag has fallen in line for
Zalbag has fallen.
The longest time. Not only did he fail to see like why Balbane's died, he's also, I think you're right, he's also seen how
he's been manipulated.
He's been manipulated, and Ramza has not, and he has not supported Ramza to this point, which is unfortunate for him.
Also, I now think that Zalbag has gone woke. He's not going to be alive for much longer.
He's either going to join our party or be dead. There's no
either.
There's
going to be Glenn or Dario.
He's Glenn or Dario. Wow, good, nice.
World map. Chris, I need to go to Merchant City of Dorder for some War of Lions exclusive content.
Oh, okay, let's do that then.
I think it is, maybe not. You tell me if we get there.
Okay.
It won't let me select Meliadul for a party member. So I go Cloud, Orlando, Construct 8, and Ramza. Does this sound familiar to you?
No.
All right, maybe it's just me.
Where are we, Dorder?
We're at Dorder, but that takes us... Yeah, we're at Dorder.
Okay.
Music, Bloody Excrement plays, and it's nighttime.
B.E.
Ramza is sauntering down a city street. A man's voice is audible. It says, so the Marquis has fallen.
Yeah, I don't have this.
The camera pans over to reveal a man in gold and silver armor standing on a nearby rooftop. It turns out he was addressing Ramza, and Ramza wonders who the hell this is. The man introduces himself. You actually meet this man much later in your game. Do you want to guess who it is?
Is it? Well, we've already met Balk, so there's one other.
He may be called something different.
Templar guy.
Balk is Barius, right?
Barith or something like that.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Barith.
Yeah, go ahead. I don't.
My name is Cletienne.
Yeah, I have some guy named like
He's
Cletienne. Yeah.
The law-free Fulmarv.
Yes, he's a Templar guy. Yeah, okay, so that's interesting. So they introduced Lawfree earlier in the War of the Lions version, and they introduced this dude earlier. I think Balk was the only one that I got a like pre-end game introduction to.
I come in Lord Fulmar. How are we pronouncing that? I got Cletienne. Cletienne.
Cletienne.
That's roughly how it's I can't find it here, but
FakeNet's probably going to correct. FakeNet, what?
Cletienne.
Just tell us.
I come in Lord Fulmar's steed to see his will made manifest. Ramza seems excited with the possibility. He approaches Cletienne and demands to know, a Knight of the Template then, where is Alma? On his approach, Ramza swirls with electricity and then freezes in place. He wonders, my limbs are frozen. What foul trickery is this? Well, Cletienne tells him, a time magic, with a K, of my own fabrication. Its might all but wasted on one such as you. I thought myself overcautious in raiding a trap, but it appears that was not the case. You'll find no avail in struggle. You've not the strength of the will to break free. Make your peace. You go to the gods.
You go to the gods.
You go to the gods.
I like that.
Pretty good. Ramza is then engulfed in a column of red light. He starts to shake violently, but then it stops. Cletienne can't believe this shit, but then he's struck by somebody else's weird-ass magic spell. Both Ramza and Cletienne are taking a knee, and a woman's voice calls out, Sir Cletienne, how long has it been since we last met? You know why it wouldn't let me select Meliadul for the first battle where I could select Meliadul?
Because Fulmar was here?
Because Meliadul comes in as a secret character. Meliadul to hit him with the spell. This is Meliadul's doing.
Oh.
Cletienne stands as the green-cloaked Meliadul enters the frame. Cletienne tells her, yours is an unexpected sight. Tell me, when did you don the traitor's cloak? Meliadul's ready for this shit, Chris. She tells Cletienne, I was not aware I had. Is not that the garment draped about your own shoulders?
Ooh.
Is that not the garment draped about your own shoulders?
I know you are, but what am I?
It is Isilud and I who were used by you and the others. I expect if this was in your game, I expected it to say, it is you who are the traitor.
Yes.
Instead of any of that.
It is you who are the one who is torn apart.
Cletienne doesn't deny the charges, but he asks, what of it, if you were? Meliadul responds with fire and brimstone. Those sins will be atoned for. There shall be no mercy, not even for you. The camera swings around and reveals a screen as it populates with pink time mages and other goons, 5 total.
Ugh.
Music, apoplexy, starting at the 112 mark plays. We get our objective. Defeat Cletienne, commence. Chris didn't have this battle, so Chris has no commentary for this battle.
I thought.
I do.
Yes.
AI Meliadul is one-shot wrecking these knights worse than Orlando.
Wow.
Cletienne hits Ramza with Holy, which I feel like shouldn't damage Ramza for being the only true servant of the Lord.
That is true. But unfortunately, Holy will only not damage Orlando because he has the Excalibur.
Orlando, even with Judgment Blade, is wrecking fools. Why would I ever pick anything else in this game ever again? It's easy now. Oh my god. Mid-battle, there is some jaw-flapping space. Thank God we have the space. Meliadul wonders, know you the stone secret. What is it my father means to do? Cletienne tells her, but he doesn't tell her too much. He says, your father strives toward a grand and lofty goal. Of it, I will say no more. Such things exceed your feeble capacity for understanding.
Ooh.
Meliadul already knows, though, Chris. She tells Cletienne, you know the truth, and yet you ate him. But why? My guy chuckles in response. He tells Meliadul, my reasons, you've no need to know. Well, once you kill him dead, Cletienne tells the gang, this I did not foresee, but surely the time I've bought will suffice. Meliadul demands more information before this guy teleports out of here. Begs him to wait. Is it true? Is my father a Lucavi? Cletienne stands and takes the question head on. You've eyes, have you not? Go and see for yourself. Cletienne teleports out, his remaining goons fade away, and Meliadul wonders, could he truly be? The battle is won.
Congratulations, this battle is complete.
You got a bonus scene. What was the point of that?
So you could put new content on the back of the box, maybe?
I think so, but like, did you feel like you needed more? Because I got an extra Lawfrey scene earlier in the game as well, when you recruited Wygriff.
Yeah, I feel like the Lawfrey scene makes a lot more sense than this scene. This scene seems like it was built to give some more context and character development to Meliadul, but we didn't get anything. She didn't progress anywhere in her arc than she already has.
Like this, because she already kind of bought into what Ramza was saying, and she didn't necessarily need Cletienne to be like, yeah, no, it's double true now.
Yeah, and like I've said in the past, like the fourth chapter of this game already has enough battles. It's not like we need more battles in here.
It has the most battles.
Yes.
And there are still bonus battles left.
Really? Wow. Okay.
For me, yeah, there's at least 2. You ever wish you could go to Agrias' birthday party? Because I get to.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Actually, yes. Okay.
We're not doing that now, though.
I got some battle notes for some world mapping.
Of course, yeah. No, tell me all about it.
All right, battle notes out here doing some leveling, and I got into a battle, and I'm like, now is the time for me to optimize. It's time to optimize. We're getting towards the end of the game.
Optimus Prime.
If I'm going to do any more dumb shit, the dumb shit needs to be done now.
Shit this dumb can only be done now.
Yep. So first, I send Orlando out and kill all the guys on this map that I'm leveling on, except for one of the weaker skeletons.
What music is playing now, do you think?
Let's go past through the plains.
Okay.
Okay.
While Orlando is out here killing all the guys, Ramza is yelling at Sally to get her speed up to around 15. Sally is now a calculator, and as you know, calculators are slow as shit.
Chris, as a part-time running coach for cross-country children, what do you yell to the kids to get their speed up?
Move your fucking arms.
Okay.
No, I don't say fucking.
Yeah.
Move your arms.
Move your arms, kid.
I don't really work with any of the older kids who know what the fuck they're doing. So little kids, move your arms.
Yeah, I mean, technically, the faster you move your arms, the faster your legs will go. That's just
it tricks your kids, because the kids that are newer at running, like sometimes they'll just be kind of just flopping or whatever.
Yeah, they do
like,
the raptor hands thing.
Yeah. What were we talking about?
You're talking about fighting and yelling.
Okay, yeah, fighting, yelling, and now we create the circle of trust. Are you ready for the circle of trust?
Trust me.
Okay, Sally, of course, is the newly minted calculator. She beats the shit out of Orlando with a rod, while Ramza uses...
My teacher hit me, too. Go ahead.
Okay, cool. While Ramza uses chakra to keep his own health up while he's also getting hit by stuff. Cindy consistently casts haste on Sally and stop on the last enemy left so that we will not be interfered by these skeletons.
The manipulator.
Selphie, of course, who is a mediator/orator at this point in time, is talking our brave up, sometimes helping out with the healing a little bit with her item skills. We farm about 3,000 JP for Sally's math skill. Boom, we change Sally back into a black mage with the secondary math skill.
Hell yeah.
The battle.
Good job.
Later, I would switch her back to a white mage with secondary math skill because I wanted her to be able to cast Holy as a regular white mage in case the calculations didn't line up properly. Also during this, Cindy used practice her skill called Quick, or a time mage spell called Quick, which I believe increases your CT count, which is your, like, you know, when your next turn is going to come.
Your Chrono Trigger count.
Yeah, she says, restore lost time in the spiral line. Quick! I don't know what the spiral line.
Lost time. You just rhymed, dude.
Lost time, spiral line. Can a line be spiral? I don't think so.
You can make a line spiral. What are you talking about? It's got a point connecting two ends. You can spiral that out. Dreamcast logo, dude. Come on.
A line doesn't have to be straight?
No, of course not.
Okay, if you say so. Now, with Selfie, of course, has mastered many, many job classes, and we are changing her into a mime.
I don't like mimes.
Well, I have never actually seen before this point, or at least I don't remember seeing a mime with the female sprite.
Uh-huh.
And I really like the sprite here. The female mime wears a kitsune mask.
Chris, liker of mimes.
Yes, a liker of kitsunes. Sorry.
Is that Kunimitsu?
Kunimitsu.
Yes.
Okay.
Kitsune is, I believe, the Japanese word for fox, or maybe fox lord or something. I don't know. Anyway, that's all. I've got a calculator. I said I wasn't going to do it, but I fucking did it, Eric. I got a calculator and a mime.
Folks, he did it. Mime calculator confirmed.
We will talk more about how they were implemented into my battle strategy as we move on.
Chris will have mime calculations.
Yes.
Let's head to Igros Castle.
Let's head to Eagrose Castle. Let's do it.
Music, cryptic mood plays. Ramza approaches Igros Castle's front gate under a pink and purple sky.
Yeah, the sun seems to be setting upon the castle.
Nobody seems to be here save a chocobo, one that I probably abandoned earlier in my video game.
Does it seem like they paid a fair amount of attention to lighting these areas a little bit differently each time we visit them?
Yeah, I think that's on purpose too. So that one, it tricks you like, haven't I been here before? I don't know, maybe.
Also like good mood shit.
Also, I like colors.
I like colors too.
I don't see color. I don't see anything. I don't have eyes.
Ramza calls it out. No guards. Passing strange. Passing strange? The hell do you think that means?
Passing strange.
Passing strange question mark. At the realization of there being no guards.
He says,
isn't this weird? Is that what that means?
No guards. Strange is what he says in mine. So
Right.
I don't know what the passing means.
Ramza approaches the chocobo and recognizes it. It's Zalbag's mount. This is like seeing whose car is in front of your buddy's house before you go in to play Smash Brothers.
That's true, but it must be more difficult to distinguish chocobos because you can't make them wear silly hats.
So he's got a saddle or something, right?
Yeah. Saddle with his initials on it.
Yeah, ZB. Zalbag. Ramza stands around and looks in the middle distance and then wonders how he's going to get inside. He flips a switch on the front gate and it opens without issue. We're then prompted to make a battle party.
Shit.
No, El Nino, Orlando, Meliadul, and Cloud.
Oh, God, you're still bringing Cloud?
Yeah, dude.
Why? Ramza, Horns, Lester, Sally, and Selfie as mime.
Igros Castle Keep music. Battle on the bridge plays in shit dude. Zalbag's got a sword out against Dystarg, who's fallen directly onto his ass.
Dystarg is on ass. Zalbag has, of course, crashed the party, holding a sword to his throat.
Dystarg is dismayed with the present situation, as evident by the question he asks his brother. Have you taken leave of your senses, Zalbag? This is madness.
I'm glad that we were able to happen upon this scene, and he didn't go ahead and kill him while I was performing the Circle of Trust to farm 3,000 JP.
Right, yeah. You took your time, and he also took his time.
Yeah.
But Zalbag has already seen through the act, Chris. He asked Dystarg, after what you've done, you think yourself fit to lead our house. The next part is interesting because Dystarg assumes that Zalbag is only angry about one of Dystarg's lesser schemes and manipulations. But in fact, it's all of them. That business with the Duke? Larg was long dead ere my dagger found its mark. Think, brother, he was a weak man who relied on others to fight where he could not.
Mm-hmm.
More fool he for starting a war he could not stomach.
More fool he.
So Dystarg thinks that Zalbag just learned about that infraction, not about killing their father, etc.
Yeah, he knows more scenarios than what Dystarg is aware of.
Zalbag deflects, then drops one of his bombs. Our liege lord's murder bothers me not half as much so as our father's. How could you dirty your hands with his blood? What manner of son are you?
Whew.
Chris, have you ever hit your kids with a what manner of son are you?
Fucking.
Chris is rubbing his forehead.
I've never said it like that, but sometimes I'm like, I never say you're a bad son, but sometimes I'm like,
these are not bad, they're just kids.
Yeah, I never tell them that they're bad, but sometimes I'm like, man, don't y'all realize, like, you know, how much I've done for you today? Can you just, like, give me a fucking break for a minute?
Give me 5 minutes.
Give me fucking, like, just go do something.
Play Nintendo.
Don't fucking fight.
Yeah, that doesn't work on my cats either, Chris. Cat to kids, same thing.
I totally agree with that.
Dystarg.
Except for you can leave your cats alone. That's about it.
One of the best things I saw recently is, like, owning a dog is like owning the stupidest human alive, whereas owning a cat is like owning an alien.
Yeah, that's true. But dogs listen.
Right.
Usually.
The stupidest human alive will listen to you.
I don't know.
Sort of.
I guess it depends on their age.
Dystarg professes his innocence. I am my father's son. I know not of his murder. Can you believe he's trying to pass that off?
We know that you're 3 steps away from perversion. And
yeah, you're going to pervert soon. I can smell it.
Yeah.
But Chris, Zalbag brought evidence to the table. Duke Larg's dying words. I could scarce believe my ears, but there is no mistaking what he said. Why did you kill him, Dystarg? Why? Remember, those words were fairly unambiguous because I went and found them. You've betrayed me, you killed your father to gain control of your house, and now you have killed me.
Yes.
Like, he literally said that.
What did you expect?
A Northern Sky Knight enters the scene and attempts to gather the attention of Dystark. Dystark immediately faces the knight and screams. Zalbag is taken with some madness. 2 more knights enter from behind Dystark, and 2 more appear from behind Zalbag. My dude is now surrounded by 5 knights, and Dystark stands up with confidence.
Shit.
Dystark commands the knights to seize Zalbag, and Zalbag shouts, Lord Brother. The best thing that could happen then happens, as Ramza enters the room next. We know whose side Ramza is on. He cheers on Zalbag to stand his ground. Our party then appears on the floor below the arch, and oh shit, we're really doing this.
I like a couple of things about this, the way this scene plays out. First, I like how when the knights come in and surround Zalbag, this game doesn't have a lot of camera to work with because it can only do the shift perspectives that we can do during battle, but the camera does like swirl.
It paints the scene differently.
When that scene begins to play out. Second of all, I like how that we are kind of swooping in from below and the action is taking place up on top of that like loft or that bridge area.
Yeah.
And I think it sets up a battle that's a little bit different than the ones that we've dealt with. Because we've dealt with elevation, but not necessarily dealt with one where like there's some shit going on a bridge up above us.
Yeah.
So I really like it. Battle start.
Battle start.
Battle start.
Do something.
Objective defeat Dystark commence.
Wow.
Fuck me, I have to walk all the way around to get up there.
You do?
Yeah.
You poor boy. You know what I did?
Ninja hop.
Sally cast Holy on height 4. So anybody standing on a level of elevation that is a multiple of 4 or divisible by 4.
No, I don't do numbers.
Gets hit with Holy. It slaughters 2 knights and gravely wounds Dystark.
Goddamn,
on my
dude.
first turn.
Jesus.
After Holy is casted upon these 3 fuckers, Selfie, the mimic, does it again.
All right, just mime it.
Yep.
Chris is using the mimes for good.
Yes, for now.
Melee Duel has unyielding blade attacks, but all I got right now is the option to crush armor and stuff, so I crush armor and stuff.
Crush armor and stuff. By the way, did you look at Dystark's job class?
No.
In my version, he is called a Loon Knight. In your
How do you
version,
spell loon on that? L-O-O-N?
well,
Lunatic Knight?
You'll figure this out in a second. In your game, he is called a Rune Knight.
Great, good, awesome. Didn't see that coming.
From the wiki, Rune Knight, also known as Loon Knight, is an enemy job in Final Fantasy Tactics. This job uses a whole host of sword techniques and can even use a few high-level magic spells. Dystark Beoulve has this job.
My next note is, dude, Cloud sucks. His movement, range, and speed are awful. Fuck this guy.
Wow.
Ninja 3 El Nino putting in the work. Zalbag in my game seems to go right for Dystark since Zalbag is AI controlled. I got Zalbag and Dystark sprites confused and Judgment Bladed Zalbag.
Oh,
But he lives, so fuck it, I don't care.
you poor boy.
Mid-battle dialogue. Zalbag can speak.
Zalbag says, Ramza, you were right. Our brothers started a war and killed Larg to satisfy his own ambition. This is disgraceful and cannot be forgiven.
Dystark enkindled this war and slew the Duke, all to feed his own ambition.
Enkindled. I love it.
He has sullied our name, brought scorn upon our house. He must be made to pay.
He has sullied our name, dogged our every move.
Scorned our every house.
Shit.
Ramza,
Is that an insult?
He has sullied our name, brought scorn upon our house. He must. I like it because it's got sullied again, but I don't think so. I think it's a motivational call to action.
Okay.
Ramza Yaz his boy, and he says, he shall, Lord Brother. I got more mid-battle, Dystark.
Yeah, Dystark, he calls them fools.
Yeah.
Wonders why they won't obey. Why would they defy him? The powerful must rule the powerless ones. It is our duty. He's kind of sounding like our boy Argath
Yeah, he's
right now.
getting up in the Argath.
Even the once mighty royal family has fallen and lost their power. It's only natural for us to take their place. It's the right way to use our power. Why can't you understand?
Pretty much the same for me.
Yeah,
And I'm like, that's not a compelling case.
No, Zalbag doesn't really believe it either. He's like, "Why? Don't you have any justice?"
I mean, that comes down to, I think I deserve it, so I should have it.
Yeah.
Which is how I rationalize bad purchases that I make myself.
Or we have it, so we should use it. When Zalbag says, "Don't you have any justice, brother?" What does he say in yours?
We must wield our power and seize the reins of Evilis. Why will you not see this?
And after that, Zalbag says something.
You feast on power, brother, but leave no place at the table for justice. The name Beoulve befits brave men who raise their swords in justice's name. You are no Beoulve.
Okay, that's beautiful.
Dystark has plenty to say to that. Justice, I'd die of shame to hear the word from my own lips. Such lofty ideals cannot rule a people so common. Who has earned you the right to wield your sword of justice, to be held as a hero? Is it not I who have dirtied my hands to keep yours clean? All that you are to owe me, you ought to be on your knees kneeling to thank me, yet here you stand in judgment.
Well,
Can I summarize that real quick, please?
Yeah.
Look at all I've done for you, for me.
I was going to say, he's like, you want all this justice? Who do you think's going to pay for it?
Yeah.
You know, it's
Who's
like,
going to pay for that?
Yeah.
You ain't got money. I control the coffers. Fucko.
Fuck. On the very next turn, Zalbag in my game murders Dystark. Like, he's the one who delivers the killing blow. And since he did a regular attack to do this, Selfie mimics the regular attack. Happens to be standing next to Ramza. Ramza uses Hamato and kills Selfie.
Great. Awesome. Well-coordinated battle.
But anyway, that was the end of the battle.
Is that the equivalent of a grenade rolls down a hill? The Idle Thumbs Far Cry 2?
It's a little bit less emergent than that. You know, that's more of like, it's just a very good demonstration of how things with the Mimic can go wrong.
Yeah. Just like mimes in real life, a lot can go wrong.
A lot can go wrong. You can cast Holy on the entire party, but also you might kill yourself.
When I finally kill Dystark to death, he takes a knee. He says, "You've ruined everything. Evilise was to be ours. You fools, what have you done?" My dude then falls face first and collapses. Oh shit, the Zodiac Stone rises out of his body. Did he have a failsafe trigger? I thought this shit had to be done from their own free will. The stone blings, then plays sound effects. Green souls flood from the ether into the stone. You know what time it is. Music, the pervert plays.
It's time.
And
Wheatgraph also started to pervert once he started to lose his spirit and lose his will.
Oh, okay.
You know,
so
like
it's an automatic trigger.
His firewalls were taken down. Does he absorb all the knights? Is that what happened?
If you say so. I don't know how one gets perverted.
Well, no, I'm just saying, like, after he gets perverted, all the knights that were there with him disappear.
We're born a brand new pervert, Adramelech the Wroth.
Fake now, what's Adramilk's job class in my game?
Initializing fakelet.
Ghost of Fury.
You know, what's it in my game?
Wroth.
Oh, cool.
He's a green guy, dog-like, bronze-colored features.
Yeah, kind of dragon goat a little bit.
Dragon goat, that's pretty good.
Getting there.
Do you have his opening line?
Pretty buff. Opening line is, "Heh heh, so that's it. Now I know, young fool. Here's a souvenir for you on the way to hell. I killed Balbanes. Yes, I did it. The Beoulve family has had their chance to rule, but he blew it, that idiot, so I killed him. Even the swordmaster can't fight poison."
Okay, I meant something that happened way before that.
Okay.
I apologize. He opens with, "So this is what it is to be a god?" Chris, what is our primary objective on this podcast?
Kill God.
That's right.
We've been killed. Perverts are gods?
Yeah.
Okay.
So then, to reference Chris's earlier point, he blings an Emerald Knight and wipes out the corpses of the knights to refresh the battlefield with additional fuckwads. Like, I figured we need just more guys to fight.
Oh, okay.
In case you didn't kill all the knights. No sword yet can rot, parry Poison's Kiss. Do you know anything about that? No sword yet can rot, carry Poison's Kiss?
Even a swordmaster can't fight poison.
Fucking good. Adramelech blings a column of light and vaporizes Zalbag.
He disintegrated that motherfucker. I don't know if Zalbag's dead or not, but he seems like he might be.
Did he get beamed away or disintegrated?
I think he may have gotten beamed away, but at this point it's subjective.
He then looks at Ramza and says, "And so on you, Ramza, my gaze alights. Now no regret, a traitor's recompense."
Battle start.
Defeat Aldramech, commence.
Aldramech was a god called Baal Aldramech. Baal means lord and Melech means king in Hebrew in Assyrian mythology. It is said that children were sacrificed to him, but Greek accounts saying that child sacrifice via burning them or placing them within a heated bronze statue of the god are not historically verifiable, as no archaeological proof such as a large bronze statue exists.
In old tales of myth and legends, is there always a child sacrifice fucking thing, test of faith? Or is that just in Abrahamic?
I'm sure that it's like, because almost everything, almost all myths and legends like come from something similar. Aldramech is considered a demon in Judeo-Christian tradition, being generally depicted with a human torso and head and the rest of a body of a mule, a peacock, or some combination thereof. That
sounds like my neighbor, Chris.
It's kind of fucked up. He was described as the enemy of God, greater in ambition, guile, and mischief than Satan.
Guile?
Yes.
Guile's in this game?
No, guile, like the god, the trait of guile.
Oh, okay.
A fiend, more cursed, a deeper hypocrite.
A deeper hypocrite.
Yes. Adramelch, Ghost of Fury, knows all the pervert moves, including Chicken Race. Also has high-level summons like Bahamut and Odin, but he never used them on me.
Cloud, make it up the stairs challenge. Cloud, do anything challenge. Cloud, help me out somewhat challenge. Fuck it, Orlando, mess his ass up.
He holy Ramza and killed him. Petrified Sally. Selfie couldn't do shit. I've got some of his battle cries. You want to hear him?
Of course.
I'm not doing chicken race again, sorry.
Smoldering flames far below punish the wicked, fire 4. Angry spirits of the world strike now, bolt 4. Effortless water, break your silence, attack ice 4.
Effortless water.
Yes. Inscript the dark god into a rotting body.
Yes, we will inscript the dark god.
Flare. Black sheep of evil times cover our light, dim me too. Scorch with dragon flame the Bahamut. Slash away with the land's fury, Odin. Sea Fang, attack with water's power, Leviathan. Evil flames entrust your power to us, Salamander.
Salamander.
Hornston Lester, the pervert slayers, went right at him and just outdamaged him before he can get anything else off and before anybody else turned into dust. Eric, when you slay Adramilk, what was the first thing he said?
Too soon this mortal coil, did I assume. Angel of blood, high seraph, come too late.
I think I've got you beat, Eric. In my game, he says,
shit.
He says shit?
It's still not right. If only Bloody Angel were here, this wouldn't have happened.
He says shit, it's still not right.
He says, I took a screenshot. Shit.
I would have lost it, dude.
I did lose
the fucking demon breaks his history, his weirdly hyphenated language to say shit, it's still not right.
I love it. It's
that's real good. Is that the first shit deployment in your game?
I think so.
God. Did Final Fantasy VII ever drop an SHIT, or was it SH hashtag fucking exclamation point?
Yeah, they did a lot of the Qbert language stuff.
I feel like shit and fuck weren't admissible until late PlayStation 2 era for a lot of games.
Yeah. I don't know, man. It
shit, it's still not... that's what I say while changing my oil and forget to put new oil back in. You know what I mean?
Shit. It's still not right. That's what I say when I get out off the toilet and I look at my shit and I'm like, I've been sick or something. I'm like, shit.
Yeah.
My shit's still not right looking.
Wrong color. Well, that was cryptic and interesting, not to mention ominous, but I wish there was more.
Lobstop always said we should put shit in the rankings. But
shit. Still not...
I think it's just an expletive.
Yeah, it's an exclamation.
A curse.
So I wanted more Dystarg regret language, but it's not. Should Dystarg just be done and not get any more last words?
I mean, I don't think any other perverts got last words. They just perverted and died.
Yeah, Dystarg is Brotherman. My dude explodes with the tones of harmonious 4-day cycle, the time cube. The green orb is left behind. Ramza stares at it, then declares, House Beoulve is no more, but what does it matter? We are the sum of our deeds, not our names. Alma, I will find you, Alma. And that is Ramza's final act motivating deed, not his name. Bro has to find his sis. The battle is won.
Congratulations, this battle is won. You got nothing. Pervert dead. Stone. Got a stone. Before we go to the real net, Eric, I want to just point out here that I started doing some of the, we talked about in the past, the things where you send guys out on jobs and they get shit.
Mm-hmm. Employment.
I used the Game Shark code to turn random battles off and just did them.
Thank God.
To see what would come up. So I'll probably put some of that stuff in my notes for a little bit later. But There was one quest that I saw that I wanted to talk about here. It's called Master Math.
I don't like that.
Okay. The bar owner says, this is what I know about Master Math. Here's the note. It says,
Master Math sounds like a Macintosh game you play in 3rd grade.
Yeah, like Number Munchers?
Yeah.
It says, I attend the School of Magic in Gareland. I am not good at math. Please teach me. My name is Derman. Press circle to take the job.
What's up, Derman?
So I did the math job. That's all.
That's good. Manipulate those numbers.
They come back and they report on the fact that they taught this kid math.
Math jobs.
It's great. I don't even think I sent a calculator. Hey, who wants to talk to the RealNet?
Initializing RealNet.
Mel says it's interesting to contrast this with Suikoden 2 because while the Jowie-Rio conflict comparisons are easy to make, there are different in execution, especially in the final Showdown front. So with Balfuma or Volmofra, TC says, if I recall correctly, the implication is that Delita cut her tongue out.
Jesus.
So I don't know. We'll have to look into that.
Oh, right there. I see what you mean. Okay.
Yeah.
We'll see if she talks anymore in the game.
I don't think she shows up until very late.
Yeah.
Which we are very late, but you know. Shy Guy 32 also says the general fan explanation has been cutting out her tongue since she doesn't speak for the rest of the game. Graves One Deer says you become a better herbalist by picking up herbs in WoW. TC says don't fuck with an apothecary.
That's generally true. I agree with that part.
Mm-hmm. Eric Fernandez says I didn't think we get a philosophical discussion on whether Gatorade is juice. Well, we did.
I vote no. I mean, I know juice is also just fructose or sucrose or whatever, but one feels made from God and one feels made from the Gatorade lab.
Yeah. Eric Fernandez says Trump's favorite bit is saying people are saying and then just uttering the worst shit you've ever heard.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the way to do it.
It adds credibility.
It's weasel words, I think, is how they say, what they call them. TC says Zalbag feels bad about everything except for killing Tietra. It's true, he had a hand in that, right?
Zalbag feels so bad.
Mm-hmm. Shy Guy 32 says I need to introduce an item called a Trader's Cloak into my campaign. There's a good thing you can put in there if you're a DM. Bake that into your language.
The language bakers.
Love baking language. Shy Guy 32 says it's nice to give Meliadul some spotlight, but because she gets overshadowed by TG Sid so much. Eric Fernandez says all spirals are lines, but not all lines are spirals.
See, that I agree with.
Nervous says Kitsune is a trickster fox spirit. There we go. That was pretty close. Jesse says Zalbag's Chocobo has a spoiler and truck nuts.
Can you... I guess I do see you'll put spoilers on the back of pickup trucks on the bed. That always looks fucked up. I would get truck nuts, honestly, for my car. If you could get me a truck nut sack that had 3 to 4 nuts.
Oh, yeah. I agree.
Has anyone invented dangling truck tits? Think about that.
Probably. TC says, I love to see Eric experiencing a Final Fantasy Tactics tradition. I got Cloud. He sucks.
He sucks. I think this is where I stopped. That last battle is where I just kind of folded my cards with Cloud.
I lost the comment, but somebody asked if you ever got the Materia Blade. I think the answer to that is no.
No, I didn't do all that stuff. Once I learned that you had to get a special treasure visible. I'm not, no. Mm-mm. Kind of like how I never picked Archer for anything, because I couldn't find a bow. Someone just sell me a goddamn bow.
Yeah. Jesse says Final Fantasy Tactics is a secret magical girl game, but all the magical girls are perverts instead. Yeah. That is where the anime comes in. Mel says putting in a request for the pervert to play in a hypothetical Yakuza season for the appropriate scenes.
There's many perverts in Yakuza.
Oh, yeah. Yakuza's full of perverts.
With the upcoming Yakuza show, my suspicion, and this is one that I share from many people, is it's not going to do the fucked up shit. Like, you're not going to see Kiryu interrupt the, room full of men wearing pacifiers and baby clothes. Like, it's only going to do the hardcore drama stuff, not necessarily naked man with oil dancing around.
Yeah. I can't tell if the screenshot's real, but I'm going to pretend that it's real.
We can believe. The power of belief.
I must have missed this because the Dice Dog battle, the conditions for winning in the PS1 version, it says defeat Dice Dog's elder brother, which there is none.
Is Zalbag younger?
We're not even supposed to defeat Zalbag. But yes, Zalbag is younger.
Oh, I see what you mean. Yeah. So they just fucked up that, yeah. Like me, they confused Dice Dog and Zalbag.
Yes. I didn't notice it. I must have looked away. I'll check the tape. All right, RealNet, thank you for joining us today on this fine, lovely Friday morning. This podcast is a production of Retrograde Amnesia, recorded on August 16th, 2024. You can reach us via email, podcast@retrogradeamnesia.com, on Twitter @retroamnesiapod, or on YouTube at Retrograde Amnesia. And of course, you can support us on Patreon at patreon.com/retroam. Get ad-free episodes, bonus episodes, mini-series episodes, and fun stuff. trivia, streams, other random things that we've done out there over the years. Thank you, Mark,
Shepard.
for the intro music.
How come Eric never says thanks?
Thank you, Worldson, for the podcast artwork. Eric, until next time.
Shit, it all went bad. What does that say?
Shit, it's still not right.
Shit, it's still not right.
And yes, we will kill God and go back to sleep. Perverted.
I love the idea. Shots, pizza, and soup tickets on it.
Yeah.
And some people literally just cash in all 3 bourbon shots after the race, and I'm like, I had 1 beer one year, and I was like, can we just leave? Can I?
Hey, Eric.
Hey, Chris.
You all right?
Yeah, I'll tell you after.
Okay. Fortnite. Patreon's done a good job in the last year of rolling out a lot of good features. They just added a bulk editing feature that you can bulk edit posts, which would have been nice when I was reposting everything, but whatever. And you can also sell you can sell physical goods on Patreon. You can sell, I mean, you have to manage your own shop and shit, but like, you can sell digital goods on Patreon if you want to. I don't think I've enabled that, but we could do that and like sell a mini series for whatever, but
Sell Chris's Super Nintendo cards. Has someone ever asked you when you explain this shit, what is Patreon? Do you have like a go-to sentence to explain Patreon?
like a regular person?
Yeah. Like my relatives, like, hey, how's your podcast? You make money from that? How do you? One of them asked Ovelia if Warren harmed her. Fuck, I already did that too.
Yesterday, my kid said that he told me that his art teacher, who you know, I'm not going to know.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Who you know said...
That's funny. No, she was his art teacher. Very good. Very good.
That said that he said that she used to walk to school when she went to school there.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And I said, I know that. I said, oh yeah, I know that. I know where she lived. And he said, well, how do you know that? And I said, well, I used to play Smash Brothers there all the time. And he goes, really? I said, yeah. We had a big old screen and everything.
Yeah.
He's like, why were you playing? And then I explained why. I explained all the logistics of that.
I'm going to a soccer game tomorrow. Apparently, I've never been to a soccer game.
Like a real
Louisville City FC.
Oh, I'm sure you'll have fun.
Yeah, I bet.
It's a nice venue.
I know. I see it after I run.
Yeah, me too. I haven't actually been. I told my kids I was going to take them to a soccer game this year, and I didn't.
Fucking liar.
Bad father.
Go tomorrow.
No, we got a race tomorrow. Yeah. The other thing that I remember specifically about doing mushrooms another time was spilling some like juice or something, or some like Gatorade or something on the floor.
Gatorade is not juice.
Well, yeah, Gatorade is juice.
Gatorade is not juice.
What is juice?
From a fruit. Gatorade is from a sugar.
Okay, whatever. Anyway, I spilled some sort of colored liquid onto the floor, right?
All right, cool.
And all I could do was look at it after that because the splatter was shaped like a phoenix.
Hell yeah, dude! You just cast Phoenix on your floor.
Yeah, so that's the
resurrect me.
That's the other thing that I remember specifically. Other than that, no, not really.
Jesus Christ!
Mushrooms are great though. There's no I mean, I'm sure there are some side effects, but there's no like bad side effects.
Yeah, you don't permanently reset your dopamine levels or anything.
Unless you fucking like, I guess if you do them too often.
I don't know. I'm so scared of hallucinogenics that I would need somebody to chain me to a chair so I couldn't jump out a window or something.
Yeah, I mean, people have had bad experiences and stuff like that. I never had a bad experience though.
Don't
do mushrooms.
Don't do mushrooms.
Yeah, don't do.
Especially if you're Chris's kids and you're listening to this.
Yeah.
Radio.
I heard a pretty good rant the other day about how Joe Rogan is killing comedy because he had a new comedy special come out and it's fucking terrible. Have you seen any clips from it?
No.
Okay, you should look up some clips from it because it's all the jokes are like 5 years old. And they're all like
woke bad.
Yeah, they're all reactionary, woke bad, like weird vaccine shit, trans panic shit.
Is it worse than the new Dave Chappelle specials? Well, I haven't seen those either, so never mind.
I've only seen the first bad one, and I turned it off because it was just bad. Like it's just not good, and I think it is worse. Yes, and his titties are sweating the whole time too.
Tight.
So
awesome. Love that. Turns me on.
Anyway, That's all I have to say about Joe Rogan. Sorry. Or just like not really, or they'll stop and like if you move your arms, you'll
Pump that shit.
It'll make you keep going. It's a hack.
Power yourself up.
So that's pretty much all you can do, really.
Haven't you played Mario 1, kid? He moves his arms.
Yeah, Mario moves his arms. Come on.
Is that true?
Yeah, Mario moves his arms.
Okay, yeah.
Yes. He doesn't get the full stride though.
But there are hand movements.
Yes. Hold your arms like L's and keep your arms in an L shape.
L, yes.
Because they don't know angles. Can't say 90-degree angle.
No.
Anyway.
The next part is interesting because Dystarg assumes that Zalbag is only angry about one of Darbag. The next part is interesting.
It's at this point it's subjective. Thank you, Mark, for the introductory music, and thank you, WorldSyn, for the podcast artwork. Until next time, Eric. Hold on, let me do it again. Thank you.
CLETINNNETI.
Let's head to Igros Castle. Yeah, let's.
Your fee as
Saddle with his initials on it.
yeah, ZB. Zalbag.
Why's it so funny? I don't know. Can't figure it out.
Rob's a stance.
He also have that
Differently.
when
World map. Chris, I need to go to
this is disgraceful and cannot be forgiven.